Brenda J. Lilly here from Creative Consultations. I just wanted to put out a small disclaimer before we launch into today's video that says I'm not a licensed therapist. I'm just here to engage, to encourage, and hopefully empower other artists to go out and live their art dream. So here we go. Enjoy the video. Good Monday morning, everybody. It is Monday morning, November 18th, and it is time for another Monday morning Kickstart with me, Brenda J. Lilly, and Creative Consultations. I hope you like this video, and if you do, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and share it with everyone so that we can all encourage each other to keep on becoming who we were created to be. See you on the flip side. Good Monday morning, everybody. Brenda J. Lilly here, and I want to talk about rushing through life lessons from the theater. So, yesterday I was in rehearsal for A Christmas Carol, and I got to work with two young actors on the young Belle, young Scrooge breakup scene in the past, right? This is Ghost of Christmas Past area. Now, these actors had done meticulous work on the background of this scene. They knew why they were saying the words to each other. They knew what had happened just before they run on stage, why she's crying, why this breakup is happening. They had made all of these wonderful decisions. The problem was they weren't playing any of it. They couldn't because they were rushing. All of that emotional goodness, all of that life that they had created, the stories of their characters that they had created, the reason that this scene was happening the way it was happening, the way they had thought it through, they knew up here, but not here. And so it was my job for the hour that I had to get that work from here to here and then out to the audience. And the only way I know to do that as a director is to get them to create the previous circumstances, have a moment off stage before you come on stage. Now, these are young actors, remember, and either do it for yourself or do it, have that moment with each other and then come on stage. And then teach them to play the punctuation. I mean, if there's an exclamation mark at the end of a sentence, you need to use it. That's all I'm saying. And if there's a period at the end of a sentence, or if there's a comma in the middle, take the pause. Use that moment to move. Use that moment to think. Play it. Play the pause. Take a breath when there's a period at the end of a sentence. You don't have to rush into the next thing. And so I gave them little bits of staging here and there, little thoughts towards movement here and there. And we kept rehearsing it again and again and again till finally they got it. Finally, it was in their bones. Finally, it was in their heart. And finally, they got to a place where they were playing the pause. They weren't rushing. They weren't hurrying their way through. And it was magic. And we took that scene into the big room and we worked the entire scene of the past with the ghost, with Scrooge, looking at all of these little scenelets that happen in his past. So this is just one of those scenelets that we were working at. 2 minutes of the show took us an hour and 5 minutes to work through to get to the place that We were playing the pause. We were playing the punctuation. We were feeling our emotions and allowing them space to live. We weren't rushing. And so they came in, and so they were in front of the director, in front of the other actors in the show, and they had not seen this scene the way I had just seen this scene. And so when it was time, they came on and they did it. And it was brilliant. And the ghost of Christmas past literally went, "Oh, that scene's heartbreaking now. It's just heartbreaking." She completely broke character. She's like, "I don't know how I'm going to be able to go on." She's like, "That's really hard." And I said, "Amen, sister, let's go. That's the way it should be." They knocked it out of the park. They really did. Why? How? They started feeling their feelings. They started talking to each other and listening to each other. And they slowed down. They stopped rushing. And so that's a life lesson, right? How often do we find ourselves rushing through our day, going from thing to thing to thing to thing to thing, having little moments, little conversations with people, but not really taking them in, not really hearing what they're saying, not really understanding where they are at as a human being. I can honestly say, yesterday morning, um, I preached at my church, which I do often. I'm a pastor. I don't know if I've ever said that out loud here on this channel, but I am a pastor. And so I preach about once a month at my church here in Amsterdam. And I knew yesterday morning before I left my house that I needed to slow down after the service. Normally, I the service wraps up and I leave quickly because I have lunch, I have to pick up my dog, and I have a rehearsal to get to. Yesterday I knew the timetable was going to be slowed down. And I didn't know why, but I knew that there was going to be an opportunity for me to talk to somebody and I needed to slow down to be there. And so I did my sermon yesterday and it was wonderful, had a great service. And after the service, I was packing my bag because I used my computer and I was packing my bag. And this woman came up to me and she said, "Can I talk to you for a minute?" I said, "Sure, absolutely." We spoke for an hour. Wow. I don't normally do that. And it was really lovely. It was really lovely. Listening, responding, helping, encouraging, understanding. And then knowing that I could come home, I still had just enough time to come home, eat a little bit of lunch, grab my dog, and get to rehearsal on time. And then when I was there, I got to spend this hour and 5 minutes with these two young actors working on this scene. I did not rush them. I wanted to understand what they were feeling and seeing what they were doing so that I could help them work through their awkwardness of this moment. Yeah. When you're trying to create a love life, a love relationship on stage with somebody you barely know, it's awkward. And so even in the breakup scene, it's awkward, right? So we found our way through, and that was just wonderful for them. and wonderful for me, and the payoff is going to be great for them as actors and for the show. So there is something to slowing down. If we constantly run, we miss opportunities to be with people. We miss opportunities to encourage people. But further, I think one of the things that both of the actors were doing was rushing through their lines so they could just get to the end, right? Like, it wasn't the journey of the scene that they cared about. It was like getting through it, just getting through it. And isn't that true of life? Sometimes we just want to get through it. We don't want to have to feel anything. We don't want to have to deal with anything. We just want to get through it. And so we stuff our emotions and we rush, pretending like everything is okay when it's not. I mean, sometimes it can be wonderful, but even in those moments, if you're rushing on by the wonderful, you don't get to celebrate that moment. So you miss out. You're missing out celebrating your wins, celebrating those moments that everything is going well and coming together, and you don't take a moment because you need to get on to the next thing. What? Stop. You need to slow down and feel. And sometimes that can be scary. Feeling our feelings can be frightening. You know, have people you trust and love around you, especially when there are big things going on for you. Have people. Don't try to do it on your own. We're not meant to do these things alone. We're not meant to be an island, none of us. And so take the moment, take the opportunity to slow down and share your heart, your pain, your joy with other people. Not the whole world, but people you trust. Slow down to celebrate your wins, to celebrate the moments of joy and wonder this life brings. Those moments will help buoy you in the harder moments. But if you don't even acknowledge them, you've got nothing to hold you up when those hard times come. You think rushing from one thing to another is the most efficient way through the world, and maybe it's efficient, but it's not. I would suggest it's not a great way to live your life. You miss out on actual relationship stuff with people. And for those of you who say, ugh, relationships, they're too hard. Yeah, they are. They are hard. But they're also wonderful. They're also worth the effort. They're also the thing that this life is all about. And so if you are rushing your way through, if you are not spending time talking to the people you say you love, you're missing out. You miss out on helping. You miss out on being helped. It's hard being vulnerable. It's hard slowing down and feeling, especially when things are hard, especially when things are tough, especially when things are not going your way. It's hard to walk through that emotional world. But the good news is, it's not impossible. You have people in your life who want to help you through. And this too will pass. It's not a permanent situation. Your emotions are telling you something is happening that you need to pay attention to. But if you don't listen, those moments build up on top of each other until it becomes an explosion. So slow down. Take yourself in. Think about check in with yourself. How are you feeling today? What's going on with you today, Brenda? Fill in your name. See what you're feeling. Take a breath. If you're with someone else, check in with them. See how they're feeling. See what's going on in their life and listen. And be with each other. Be for each other. Slow down. Life is going to move us on. Life is going to continue to whir and spin all around us. Don't worry. You can pick up all your stuff along the way. It's going to be there at the door just waiting for you. But for a few minutes, slow down. I promise you it's worth it. I promise you. Building those relationships, building up those trusts, building up opportunities of encouragement, taking time for all of that. That's what life is about. That is true success. Loving and being loved. Honestly, I don't know what else really matters. Okay, that's what I had today. You have a great week. I'll see you next week on our next Monday morning Kickstart. All right, bye. Hey, thank you so much for watching our video. I hope you liked it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, subscribe. What are you waiting for? All right. I hope you all have a wonderful week. Bye.